Well. The latest MCU movie is finally out in theaters, and our Hatman actually went out and watched it. So he'll be giving his review today. I'll be talking about some vidya, and we'll also be talking about a brand new comic book that you all should be backing. So, let's get started. My name is Micah Curtis.
I'm Alex Baldwin, and my disappointment is immeasurable.
Welcome to Mike and the Hatman. I'm live. For the last time on YouTube. Alrighty, Hatman. Black Widow.
Oh,
The
boy.
last MCU film, likely the last appearance of Scarlett Johansson in the MCU, which would mark the third big name that was there in the early days to leave it. The other two being, of course, Chris Evans and why am I forgetting his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So, with Widow out, what are your thoughts on this final film for ScarJo?
Yeah, my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day was ruined. I've been looking forward to a Black Widow movie for a while. I've been saying, a Black Widow movie is surely going to be a good thing. It'll obviously be better than Captain Marvel. It's how could they mess it up? How can they mess it up? They messed it up, and I am very upset. Once they finally said yes, it's being made, it's coming to theaters, and then COVID happened. I'm like, fuck. So now I got to wait even more. And after a year of waiting, it's like, well, fuck. The wait definitely wasn't worth it now. Oh my god. I will stop short of saying it sucks. I don't think it's the worst MCU movie, but it's definitely bottom tier for me. And God, I hate that. I hate saying that. I wanted to like this movie so badly. I really, really wanted to like it. But it suffers from an issue with plot. Like, it trades plot for action, and I'm okay with the fucking action movie, but if you don't tell me what the hell is going on, and I check my watch and I'm suddenly an hour and 20 minutes into the movie and it feels like it just fucking started, something's not right. Something has gone terribly, terribly fucking wrong. And it seems like most people are in agreement that it should have come out before Infinity War or in between Infinity War and Endgame. And I'm in total agreement. This should have come out years ago. But at the same time, it should have been given way more care than it actually got. It feels like this movie was just made as the send-off for Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and it's not even that good of a fucking send-off. It's disappointing. Yes, I keep using that word, but it's inappropriate. It's an inappropriate way to end Natasha Romanoff's character arc, which is odd to say because this is like a family story. Yes, she, you see her origins, how living as a deep cover Russian agent in the United States, she had a family, and then she reunites with that family, and okay, but that's basically it. That's the plot. She reunites with her family, and then they take a revenge quest. But you don't actually see that reunion and revenge quest until about an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes into the movie. Like the setup for the last act is where the actual meat of the movie is. And it's so fucking disappointing. Like imagine a Mission Impossible movie where you do have that, mystery aspect to it, but you have the action set pieces too. And imagine that the mystery is set up at the beginning, but you literally don't hear anything else about it until the last half hour of the movie, and everything up to that point is action spectacle. Eventually, you just get worn out. You're gonna get fucking bored by it, and that's what it felt like for me. I generally judge whether or not a movie is good based on how many times I check my watch during it. Because if you check your watch during a movie, you're not engaged anymore. You're literally checking to see, oh, how much time of this do I have left? You taking your eyes away from the screen means the movie is doing something wrong. I checked my watch 5 times during this movie. That's not good. That's not a good thing at all. And fucking, I'm so disappointed with the way they handled this. I haven't even talked about fucking Taskmaster yet. Taskmaster is probably the most disappointing goddamn Marvel villain since the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Like, no shit. Taskmaster got fucked. Literally, 2 fucking fights. One of them is at the beginning of the movie, and the second one is broken up by an action set piece. So you don't even get most of it. I mean, Taskmaster is kind of cool because you got the Black Panther claws, and the shield is like Captain America's shield and shit, and mirroring Black Widow's movements. But aside from that, like there's nothing of substance. You don't get to see Taskmaster really be a badass, just a copycat. And that's something that made Taskmaster special in the comics. Yes, could copy people, but could do that to overpower them. He knew all of their moves before they knew it. Fucking this Taskmaster doesn't do that. It's like a fucking living decoy. God.
So basically,
the more I talk about this movie, the more I get pissed off about it.
So basically, because people keep bringing up Moon Knight, I'll finally fucking say it. So basically, this Taskmaster is a big fucking nerd who's never punched a werewolf before. There, I dropped the fucking line. God.
Yes. This Taskmaster is absolutely a fucking nerd. God, what the hell else can I say? I'm gonna talk spoiler stuff too, by the way.
All right, hold up.
But no, I'm not ready for spoilers yet. Yet. Keep it, keep on the button, but I'm not ready for it just yet. But I don't really have a problem with like the direction of the movie. It's pretty much just the writing and the fucking plot. Like there's some good character moments in there too, and there's a reference to the Crimson Dynamo, which is actually kind of hilarious because they did him technically. But aside from that,
not really.
Like
it was Whiplash and the Titanium Man.
No, it
wasn't Crimson Dynamo.
It was Ivan Vanko, the son of Anton Vanko. It's close enough to the Crimson Dynamo.
Right, but the script and it was
oh no,
the intention
he was Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash, and it was supposed to be Whiplash and the Titanium Man because the initial plan was actually for them to do Crimson Dynamo later.
Well, instead they did Red Guardian, and that's okay. He was funny in this, but that's about it. Like he was like a cross between Thor and Captain America. Actually, no, I take that back. He was like a cross between Thor and Iron Man, but with the power set of Captain America. Because he didn't have the whole he was not patriotic at all, like Captain America. I mean, you sort of get this idea that yeah, he believes in, or he's still a communist, but he got slighted by the commies, as you know, the commies are famously known for. And so there's some bitterness there. Captain America, I don't think would embody that. Tony Stark, yes. And then the humor of Thor, like later Thor. Iron Maiden is in this too, by the way, but she's not Iron Maiden. She's like the original Black Widow.
Oh.
So yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. I think they're just pulling names out of a fucking hat at this point. Something that people have talked about too, that this is a setup for Yelena Belova to take over as Black Widow, and yes, it is. This movie serves a dual purpose to give Natasha Romanoff her backstory finally, and to set up her successor, which, okay, whatever, but don't suck at it. Unfortunately, they forgot that last part. So I guess last comments before I go into spoiler territory. This is one that I think you can actually skip, because the only thing that you really need to know about is the post-credit scene, of which there is one. And I'm sure you'll be able to find that on YouTube or whatever. It's like a couple minutes fucking long. Literally the only relevant part of the movie is the post-credit scene.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, you know those flashy end titles that they give to pretty much all Marvel movies? Like that's a tradition. They did not give that to Black Widow.
Ooh.
They did kind of like a flashy opening title sequence, more so than what we usually get, almost on par with like a James Bond movie. But no flashy end title sequence. And that, I think, just sealed it for me in the theater that, this movie really was an afterthought, wasn't it?
Sounds like it. All right, spoiler time.
Yeah. So, spoiler time. The big one is Taskmaster is not Tony Masters. Taskmaster is, one, a woman, so go figure, Marvel does it again. And two, Taskmaster is the daughter of Dreykov, which is the main guy that they're trying to assassinate in this movie. And the one that they mentioned killing in Budapest in, I think, the first Avengers movie.
Well, they don't. Not.
But yeah,
I don't know if they wrote. They mentioned Budapest, but they mention it's Loki who actually brings it up.
Oh well, okay, but yeah,
it's during that scene where she fakes.
It's a callback. Yeah, it's a callback. Yeah, his daughter that she blew up, that she thought she killed. Yeah, that's Taskmaster. Taskmaster is literally just a Black Widow who studied all the Avengers stuff that's been recorded over the years.
That is lame as fuck.
Whoop-de-fucking do. Seriously. Like, they sort of hint at there's no long-term memory, but they don't explicitly say it, and it's literally just an implication. And the girl's name is Antonia, so yes, this is effectively Tony Masters. I'm very not happy.
Well, not to mention, talk about wasting a great villain.
I mean, exactly.
The Taskmaster, especially. Have you read the Udon Taskmaster book?
No, I have not.
Oh my fucking god. It is incredible. It breaks down like how he uses all of his skills and stuff like that, and little tricks and things like he could do, and it really is like a good counter agent sort of a story. And it gave the character new life. And to just kind of gender swap them for social points, again, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why not have it be... I don't know
if it's social points. It's literally just like it's the twist of the movie. Like that's the twist. Black Widow's beating herself up because oh I killed an innocent girl, and then oh
She's
no,
not dead.
actually you didn't. Yeah, she's not. Not only is she not dead, but she's fucking Taskmaster, which is so goddamn dumb.
He,
It is so fucking stupid.
Here's what I would have done. Dreykov had a son who was Russian military. There you go. Son had exceptional reflexes. Almost like he could copy your movements just by watching them. Uses the alias Tony Masters. Goes after Widow for revenge. Would have stung,
Boom.
because that sin of killing... all of a sudden, he's a sympathetic villain. Would have been a lot more interesting. But Marvel doesn't...
Yeah.
Disney doesn't do interesting anymore. That's a problem.
No, which is so... It's so fucking disappointing. Like, There was so much that could have gone right with this movie. Like the last act of it is where the movie is. That's what it should have been. It was the most fucking interesting. You have Dreykov saying like, "Oh, I had a network of Black Widows all over the country. They can do whatever I want. They can start a war. They can end a war. They can topple governments." And like he shows a map of the world and like little white dots where every single one is, and you're like, oh shit, I wish they had brought that up more earlier instead of just having like one encounter with some of the Black Widows which went basically fucking nowhere. I really wish they had set that up. I wish that we knew more about that. I wish that could have been expounded on. Like this dude, holy fuck. I mean, it's akin to the whole Shield is Hydra twist from Winter Soldier, but they don't fucking go anywhere with it. There's no goddamn payoff. It's like, okay, we're gonna find the Red Room. We have no idea where the Red Room is because it keeps changing location. Turns out the Red Room is fucking Columbia from fucking BioShock Infinite. It's a flying fortress. It's the flying fortress fucking zone. And then they just blow it up, and then okay, we've blown it up. We freed all the Black Widows that were there. We have no idea what the fuck about the ones all over the world. We don't give a shit apparently. Whatever, fuck them. Really? That's fucking lame. That's lame as shit. There's no payoff there. Like, okay, revenge accomplished. We killed the bad dude. Family forever, blah, blah, blah. You don't even get a sense of them as actual family. Like, you sort of get it at the beginning of the movie, but it doesn't... It's like, what, 15 minutes? A 15-minute fucking sequence? And it involves both Natasha and Yelena's parents, quote-unquote, betraying them to put them into the Black Widow program. So why the hell is there supposedly this family connection here? It doesn't make any fucking sense. They don't really reconcile that either. Like you see both of the girls get pissed off at fucking Red Guardian, but that just sort of goes away. It just sort of evaporates by the next fucking scene when they go to meet Iron Maiden. There's nothing of substance there. Especially if this was going to be a goddamn character movie. Where the fuck are the characterizations? Where the fuck is the natural evolution of these characters? Where are they being dynamic? Where are they being consistent? It reeks of, like I said, a fucking afterthought. It's not even fan service. It's just a disappointment. And that's why I say it's inappropriate It's something that fans have been gunning for years. It's something that Scarlett Johansson has been gunning for years. It's something Kevin Feige himself said that he wanted to do for a while. But it doesn't feel like it. I almost don't believe that shit anymore. Just because of how it was handled. At least it's better than Captain Marvel. I'll give it that. At least it's better than Captain Marvel.
Well, there you go, folks. That be Hatman's review. Let's read some donations real quick before we move on to my pick of the week. Let's see here. Damos throws in a bucket and says, here's one last dollar for YouTube Animo Cringe. It was fun while it lasted. It's not going away forever. We'll still do it over on Twitch. So let's not panic. Holy Ninja Toe throws in a bucket and says, you want a better spy story? Back Angel's Awakening by Daniel Parker. Both spy stuff and sexy women. There you go.
There you go. Absolutely.
Hardboiled, drop the link in the chat for Daniel's book for me, please. Ninja Toe also threw in another bucket and said he's releasing episode 2 of the Comic Crypt podcast for him. Not the last one. Xenonic and Changus review the original Cap No More storyline on July the 14th on his channel. And then Servant throws in a bucket and says, wait, the family meme is here too. Is Disney unable to do anything original? It doesn't seem that way.
Can I say something about the family meme?
Sure.
That has got to be the most forced fucking meme.
Yeah.
Since fucking damn Daniel. Like, I swear to God, I'm already sick of seeing it, and it's been around for what, a week? I'm fucking sick of it.
I would say it's more forced than when people tried to force a Bible Man meme in this channel.
Oh God.
That was a forced meme.
Yeah.
Daniel Parker throws in $5, says, Hat's review of Black Widow could be summed up by quoting Hercules, disappointed. And then Chaos Sonic throws in a bucket and said, here's an idea that could salvage the original Taskmaster. That woman is not the real one. She was Tony Master's student, basically stole his armor and went for revenge. It's another way you could do it.
I wish.
All right.
I wish.
My pick of the week. Something that I'm trying to convince Hatman to do after we're done streaming. Don't know why the spoiler thing is still up. Because he tried to play it solo and it didn't go. He didn't like it. So, Sea of Thieves. I feel like I revisit this probably once a year, just to see what the new updates are. And I played this when it first came out, and it was wasn't really that great when it was first released. It was very bare bones. You could have the ships that you wanted. There was excuse me, sorry guys, I'm really not feeling very well. Yeah, you had your share of ships, for 2, 3, and 4 players. You had basic journeys you could go on, and that was really about it. It was basically Sea of Fetch quests. The only enemies that were out there were enemy ships, and given the fact that this is peer-to-peer, it did suffer from major lag issues. So, shitty internet, honestly, was a boon in this. In the early days. It still is now, sadly. That's one thing I'm very critical of it for. But for those who are going to avoid other player ships and things like that, there was not a whole lot to it. Now it's honestly a lot more of a dynamic video game than it used to be. They added in a few more events. There are ghost ships that are out on the sea. There are skeleton ships that are now out on the sea as well. There's a lot more enemy types. Now with the Pirates of the Caribbean update, members of Davy Jones's crew will come after you. There are now sirens out in the ocean. Sharks, megalodons, the Kraken. The amount of stuff in it that there just is so crazy. Because the big thing, I remember when it first came out, I said the same thing that I think Maximilian said about it when the Yo Video Games crew played it, was that the foundation was incredible. The foundation was great. But the problem is that if you got to build on a foundation, you got to build on it. And over the course of time, like what they've built on, it's fucking fantastic. Because every time you go out on the sea, it's nervous or it's nerve-wracking because you don't know what you're going to come up against. Not to mention the way that the sea is oriented and the way that the ships are oriented. Cooperative gameplay is a must. You can play it solo, sure, but it's hard as fuck to do. Anytime I've ever played it solo, I really didn't enjoy it because there's so much you have to do that you can't really breathe. There is storyline content, in the sense that there's these things called tall tales, and I think the last time I reviewed this is when they debuted them. And the tall tales are fun little adventures. There's a lot of problem solving, puzzles, and things like that you got to do. It's really, really cool. Very surprisingly atmospheric. But yeah, I haven't finished the Jack Sparrow stuff. We're gonna do that on stream probably next week. But I've heard good things. So overall, though, this is one of those games like if you and a bunch of friends are just looking for something to do, and you all got Xbox Games Pass, this is honestly the quintessential Games Pass game. 1 second, I need to take a drink of water. Sorry, I hate being sick. So, beyond that, I mean, I definitely get a give it a recommendation. Captain Jack Sparrow, Micah. Technically, I was only captain for 2 years, and I was viciously mutinied upon. Well, then you are a poor captain, but a captain nonetheless. Have you not introduced yourself through all these years as Captain Jack Sparrow? Sorry.
Got to be the worst part I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me.
I love Davy Jones. Davy Jones is my favorite character in Pirates of the Caribbean. Him and Jack are... It's just fucking great. What was the name of the Taskmaster book I mentioned? It's the Udon Taskmaster. Let me try to find the specific... name of it. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Because it came out in 2001. I'm trying to find who wrote it. Why can I not find it? This is really weird. Is it not collected anywhere? It's not the right price. I know that's not the right one. I can't find it. I don't know why. But just look Taskmaster 2001 and that'll show up. So yeah, Sea of Thieves definitely recommended by yours truly. All right. My jaw's fucking killing me because of this infection that's working its way through my system. So I'm kind of losing my ability to talk very much. Plus, I think I'm getting a fever. So I'm going to have to go lay down actually after the podcast. So no Sea of Thieves for me and Hatman tonight.
That's not good.
Yeah. Sign the blank throws in $5. It says the cringe must flow. Well, we're almost there. So Englewood Book 2 is now on Indiegogo.
It's here. It's finally here.
It's finally here. We are almost at $3,000, oddly enough. $2,890 that we've gotten in just a few days. So we're basically almost 20% of the way there.
How are we on matching the numbers of 3 nights in Englewood 1?
We actually were a little bit under the first day of 3 nights, but we did better than Englewood Book 1 did. And then we also we're progressing better than the first Englewood book as well.
Good.
So for those who have not backed this yet, the link, if it's not in the description, I'm going to put it in there here in a second. But Hardboiled just actually put the link in the chat. Hatman, I need a favor from you so I can take a drink real quick. Talk about this particular book from the perspective of being its editor. About why people should buy it.
So, I don't know if the perspective of an editor can serve very well as an advertisement. That's the thing.
You could speak to its quality.
I mean, I didn't have to edit a whole lot this time, which is a great thing for me. That means I didn't have to do as much fucking work. Most of the work that I had to do was just based on consistency and how I heard certain characters' voices, because that's something that you gotta work out in not just comics but literature in general, making sure that the voice matches the character. And yes, sometimes you do have to make them sound like they talk in whatever accent or whatever vernacular that they come from. Like, someone from the hood is going to talk like someone from the hood. Someone who is from a wealthy part of Chicago is going to talk like someone who's from a wealthy part of fucking Chicago. People who are very, very against the idea of swear words are never going to use them. You know, stuff like that. It's just, like duh. But this one is, thankfully, I didn't have to do a whole lot of editing work with it because the voices were there, the characters were there, shit made sense. And that's good. I can definitely give you names of stories that I've worked on where, not to brag or anything, but they were saved in the edit. This was not saved in the edit. This was fine before the edit, and it's better after the edit, which is exactly what editors are supposed to do. It's refining a story. It's making it better, not making it fucking good. But But anyway, no, this story wise, this is the conclusion to the Born in Blood arc. This is what really this is what Englewood, what the actual introduction to Englewood is. Like, this is the full gamut of it. This is the aftermath of Carlos's massacre. Fuck Carlos, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the setup of what you saw in issue 0. So you get to see Elijah's team come together. You get to see exactly what prompts him to become the Saint of Englewood, because it's not just okay, my kids got killed, or my students got killed, so I'm gonna take up the Vanta Black and go, crack some skulls. It doesn't start like that. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how it starts, because you're gonna have to read the damn book for that. But it doesn't just go that way. It's not your traditional superhero story in that regard. It does follow a logical progression of how someone would get to that point where they're like, I don't have a fucking choice anymore. And that's good. That element of realism is always appreciated, at least coming from me. Any story that I'm going to read, I do appreciate not having to suspend my disbelief for shit like that. But it's something that I think a lot of people who had complaints about how brief Englewood 1 was will be very satisfied with where Englewood 2 is. This is going to whet that appetite that they had after finishing the first book, but it's going to make them hunger for what comes next, because yes, the end of this does drop you off into a new arc, and I don't know how much I can say without spoiling it. That's the problem.
It opens the world
It's
up.
It's not a cliffhanger ending, but it's a oh fuck ending. Not a twist. Well, no, not a twist ending. Not a twist ending. But it is an oh fuck ending.
Yeah, that is that.
Yes, it does.
That would be the best way to
describe it. It opens up the world a whole lot more.
Yeah, speaking for the writer's perspective, I mean, with this book, what I aim to accomplish is the same thing I'm always aiming to accomplish anytime I write a superhero story, is to provide the stories that people just aren't getting these days. I mean, Englewood Book 2 is I wouldn't really call him, because it was like, is he a parallel to Batman or Daredevil or anything like that? He's not really. I mean, he's again, I always compare him to Shang-Chi, because he starts as a martial artist, and he was a prize fighter. So you could also compare him to Wildcat from DC Comics. Starts out as a prize fighter, or Daredevil's father, Battling Jack Murdock. And then the evolution of him into this character has nothing to do with the idea of becoming a character. It's more about just getting even. Like the police aren't doing enough, so I'm gonna just do what I want. He never. I will say this in the book: he does not set out to become the saint. The saint is something that is bestowed upon him. Mm-hmm. And who bestows it upon him?
He doesn't even pick that name.
No, he doesn't pick the name. He doesn't have a name. He's only wearing a costume so people don't know it's him. And that's basically the long and short of it for him. So when he goes out there, and his purpose is just to bring this gang down that committed that grave sin against him. It's not something that starts out as something that is righteous justice. It's about him getting even. It's about revenge. And then the righteousness is something that comes afterwards. There's a lot of questions even in his camp. about people who aren't quite sure what or how he's going to do this, and if life will be taken or not. And for his friends, it's a scary prospect. They worry very deeply about him. They try to talk him out of it. You know, it's a very tense book. You know, and that's one thing that I really always have loved about superhero stories on the street level, is they're always so tense. You know, I felt like the last good thing that Tom King did with his Batman run was the storyline I Am Bane. And that book is tense as fuck. And that's the sort of thing I love about street level. Another good example, of course, is Daredevil's Born Again. It's a tense book. This is that same sort of tension that I'm aiming for.
I'm very glad that you mentioned Born Again, because there's a part in the second, I guess what would be the second chapter of this arc. If Englewood 1 is the first chapter, then the start of Englewood 2 is the second chapter. There's a part in that where he's talking to Shorty, who's his best friend, you know, the cop, and it reminded me so much of Born Again. Just the frustration of feeling like you are totally outmatched, you're being outwitted, and you can't do anything about it. And yet Elijah's like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to make a way. Like there's no way to escape this room. I'm going to punch a door out myself.
Exactly.
I love that. I love stuff like that.
Couple donations before we go
to. It's not all action. It's not all skull cracking.
Yeah, there's a lot of character
stuff.
There
is a good narrative there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a character writer. You know, if you've read Three Nights, you'll see that. Like, I don't. My books are not decompressed, so there's a lot in a short amount of time. But I managed to make every single character interaction meaningful, which is something that just doesn't happen a lot these days. So, back the book, link in the description. Let's get to 3,000 today. You know, a couple donations came in. Serena throws in $5. Is there Hatman for you? Is there a time you're free and available? She has some questions about the financial aspect of crowdfunding, specifically taxes.
Yeah. Email me on that, because that sounds like something I can take care of kind of quick. That's not like a long conversation.
Yep. Servant throws in a bucket.
Yeah, email me on that.
And says, for those of us that back to be a cop level, do you guys need side profile or both, and only one emotion or a bunch of them? Just front and side profile will be fine.
Yeah.
One thing to mention, for those of you who are looking at the campaign right now, you will notice that it says be a cop, 0 of 2 claimed, and Windy City Special 0 claimed. The reason for that is that I fucked up initially with those perks and put too many posters on it. Now, for those of you who snatched it up early, we will be honoring that. But we had to go back to like what's actually on the campaign, not the extra stuff.
Well, what we can do is give all 3 posters. We can't fit 4 in one tube, and that's unfortunately we can't do that with the shipping materials that we've got. And some of you I noticed like just chose the same 2 for your, pick 2 posters, and it doesn't make sense to give you like 2 of each. So we'll just do like all 3.
We'll figure it out. But basically, if that's what
congratulations,
if that's why you backed that perk, if that's the impression you were under, we'll honor it as best we can.
At least it's not. At least we got the t-shirt stuff right this time.
Yes. All right. On to Q&A. So we're behind on Q&A.
Okay.
What is the most messed up Grizzly movie we've ever seen from Aurelius? For me, it used to be The Collector, but recently got replaced by Men Behind the Sun. Schindler's List.
We've answered this a couple of times.
For me, it'll always be Schindler's List.
Um, I'll just say what I said last time. Cannibal Holocaust, because they're actually murdering animals in that movie.
That's another good pick. By the way, yeah, if you've enjoyed the show so far, please do not forget to hit that like button. Like I said, the live show is what's leaving YouTube, just so you guys know, not the show as a whole. So if you want to catch the show live, follow us at twitch.tv/BigMicahC. And the reason that we're leaving YouTube is, YouTube is having a lot of connectivity problems these days that it didn't used to have. And then the other thing is, when it comes to just being a streaming platform, Twitch is just far superior. So, and then for questions for the overflow, we will, the questions we get today are going to be the last ones. Last overflow will be for the last overflow. So just so you guys know. Let's see here. Rise Khan says, as I grow older, I've noticed my taste for metal, specifically power metal, perk up. Any band recommendations? Okay, so there's a video on my YouTube channel that is specifically all of my metal recommendations. Go watch that and take a list. Because I don't want to repeat them all over again. When I did it, it took a half hour. Because I have like hundreds of bands on my computer that I listen to.
It's funny because that was prompted by a Q&A question too. And I think we took like 20 minutes to answer it.
Yeah.
And then that spawned a whole nother fucking video.
Oh yeah. Power metal specifically, though, I'm not a big power metal guy. My recommendations for it is always just whatchamacallit? Fuck. Beast in Black, and Sabaton. Ice Earth is pretty good too. And I guess if you can consider him power metal, Yngwie Malmsteen. Derek Mozzarella wants to know, what's an action movie that we like that everyone else hates? A lot of people seem to hate on Bad Boys 2, and I like that movie.
People hate Bad Boys 2?
Apparently. Probably just because of Michael Bay.
It's the first I'm hearing of it. I always like Bad Boys 2.
Well, the thing about... there's so many people hate Bayformers that they hate Michael Bay, like everything Michael Bay ever did, because he did Bayformers.
Do they hate the Got Milk commercials?
Mm.
He did those. Action movie that I like that other people don't like. That's a good fucking question. Do people hate the Riddick movies?
A lot of people hate Chronicles.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It is the weakest of them.
Well, that'll probably be my pick. Would be Chronicles of Riddick. I genuinely like it. I've always liked it. I think I've grown to appreciate Pitch Black more as I've aged. But no, I've always liked Chronicles of Riddick. So I guess that'll be my pick.
Let's see here. Holy Ninja Joe wants to know what MCU movies would be in our failure tier. Thor 2 and Thor Ragnarok. Captain Marvel. Complete failure? I think that would probably be it for me.
Complete failures?
That if we were grading it like a term paper, we would give it a D or an F.
D or an F? Okay, because I would give Black Widow a D. I wouldn't give it an F. So yeah, that would be on the list. Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, Captain Marvel, obviously.
I forgot about Iron Man 3. Throw that in there for me too.
Yeah. God, what else was really not good? No, I think I would give Age of Ultron more like a C. I don't think I'd give it quite a D.
You go back and you watch Age of Ultron, it's actually a little better than you remember. It was for me.
So, weird thing for me, I liked Age of Ultron a little bit more on rewatch, and I liked the first Avengers a lot less.
With me, one thing that I actually did just to try it, I actually clipped the scene in the church. I clipped the Whedon speak out of it at the end.
Hmm.
Speech was infinitely better. That was really just the
Yeah.
problem. Is Joss Whedon so up his own ass that when he scripted Ultron, he basically fucked parts of him up. You know,
And that's the thing. I love Ultron's god complex, but also the fact that it's an appreciation for the Christian God too.
that's
Almost
yeah.
like a
The
fearful appreciation. But then
it's his.
Whedon speak just fucks it all up.
I wouldn't say appreciation. I'd say fascination. I think fascination's a better term.
Yeah, that's a good way to yeah, that's a better way to describe it. Yeah, it is more of a fascination.
Yeah, because you pull all the Whedon speak out of that movie, it gets infinitely better.
Yeah.
Like just the way that he talks. Who was it who voiced him? James Harden.
James Spader.
James Spader. Yeah, did a great job. It wasn't
Oh,
his fault.
absolutely.
It was the script, which was written by Whedon. So,
Yeah.
um, if there's ever an Avengers reunion movie, um, if they can't get who was it who directed what brothers directed Infinity War?
The oh hell. The fucking Russos.
Yeah, the Russo brothers. If they can't do it, I say get Favreau to do it. I would have loved to have seen a Jon Favreau directed Avengers film.
That would have been really, really interesting.
Well, Iron Man 1 and 2
Because
were
he
so
did
good.
Iron Man. The only problem that Iron Man 2 had was just scripting problems. Like it started to have a little bit of villain bloat to it.
A little bit, yeah, but even so.
If it had been streamlined, I think it could have been on par with the first one.
Hmm.
But still, no, yeah, I would love to see a Favreau directed Avengers, especially coming off of fucking Mandalorian. Good God.
Okay, we got to get back to questions. We still got quite a few
Yeah.
more. Melly Brawler says, "Have you guys gotten a chance to see the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remasters? If so, what do you think about them?" I did. They look good.
Don't care.
I've
Final
never,
Fantasy. Don't care.
I've never beaten any of 1 through 6, so I'm not like super attached. I would like to play all the way through 6 at some point, because I played like a third of the way through it, and I enjoyed it, but I just never picked it back up for whatever reason. Hardboiled asks, what do you guys think about the upcoming Shang-Chi movie? Know nothing about the character, just happy we're going to see a true Mandarin finally. I just sad Tony died before finally facing his true nemesis. Doesn't even seem like the Mandarin, though. He's not wearing 10 rings. He's wearing rings on his forearms.
Yeah, I guess
think
that's a way to
I
get
think
around
what they're going to end up doing is combining Shang-Chi's father with the Mandarin to make a completely different character. I don't care at that point. I also don't know why the Abomination's in it. So, I don't know. I'm not really that interested in it now. Servant says,
Apparently Sausage is not interested.
are there any good games on the Switch currently? I should keep waiting to get one. I am not the person to ask. I don't know anything about what's going on Switch.
The only one that I can absolutely speak to is Metroid Dread, but that's because Metroid is like my favorite franchise. So
Yeah.
that.
I did like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance for it. That was fun. Just because Venom. Venom is, like, way overpowered in it. Okay, let's get some from the chat, and then we'll do cringe, and then I'm going to go sleep. Oh, I skipped SGD. I'm sorry about that. It was all in spoilers. Okay, so reading SGD's question right now. Yes, I would. Because I'm a jerk. So let's see what the chat says.
Did we get just one more from Discord?
Yeah, it's all spoilers in spoiler tags, so that's why I out loud said I'm reading SGD's question right now, and then I gave it an answer.
No. Personified Persona.
Oh, there's that one. Okay. I know we're big fans of D&D. Curious if we've ever heard or seen anything from Matt Mercer's Critical Role campaign. It's some pretty good stuff. It's been influential enough for Matt to get his homebrew setting to put in an official D&D module. We do not have time for it anymore. No. So we don't even follow it.
Don't really care.
Okay. Now for the chat. John Whitesell says that the scene of Englewood is the sleepless universe's equivalent of Batman. Who's its equivalent of Superman? Really isn't one right now. There was going to be one, but plans for that fell through. And now the character is kind of in limbo. Because it was one that was co-written between me and someone else. And then the business that person and I were doing fell apart. So I don't know what's ever going to happen to that character. It sounds like he's going to be leaving comics permanently, which for his mental health is probably a good idea because he can't handle it. In which case, if he walks away, I'm just going to offer, if I have some money, I'll offer to give him a little bit more, and then I can actually have that character. But, not really, because Alpha from Project Lazarus is not a Superman type character. He has more. He has more in common with the Hulk than anything. Me in the chat wants to know, is the music from the OG trailer for Black Widow in the movie? Probably not.
I don't remember what. The only music that was a crappy cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" as the opening title song.
Ugh. And
it felt really, really inappropriate. So, yeah, thinking back, that was an omen. It was a fucking omen.
And then Miguel Barrera wanted to know, apparently someone on Twitter is angry because someone joins Comicsgate. Your opinions. So it's not just anybody. Dale Keown.
That was Pitt, didn't he?
That was Hulk, dude.
That was Hulk. Oh, fuck.
As in, like, he's the greatest Incredible Hulk artist ever. As in, he was the artist on fucking Peter David's run.
Oh.
He was the guy who picked up after Todd McFarlane.
Oh.
Yeah. That's as in Dale Keown is, if he's not he's probably my second or third favorite artist in comics ever. I'm very happy he's Comicsgate. So anybody who doesn't want him to be here, you can go fuck yourself. But yeah, he did the Pit later, and he's apparently going to try to revive it. Apparently under Ethan's comic label. So I don't know how much luck he's going to have with it, but I think that's a good acquisition though, because Dale still owns that character. So yeah. But yeah, Dale Keown, Dale Keown's run on Hulk is the entirety of the Professor Hulk saga, which is, in my opinion, the best Hulk story ever told. So I'm excited. Now, granted, since he is
Fucking Shadowhawk.
since he is,
Fucking-
what does Shadowhawk have to do with anything? I'm very confused now. Why are you confusing me? Everybody shame Hatman. He's confusing me. Everyone shame to Hatman.
Shame! 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 Shame!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Okay.
Shadowhawk in the pit looked artistically similar to me, so that's why I was wondering who the fuck did Shadowhawk.
No clue. But anyway, but yeah, since Ethan and I are not on good terms right now, chances are, if I went to go talk to Dale, Ethan would probably tell him not to talk to me, so I'll probably never get to meet him, which is a bummer. Politics are fucking stupid. I'll just say that. But
Politics suck.
yeah. But Comicsgate to me is not about political alliances or whatever. It's about my beliefs. And those beliefs have still stayed the same. So, I don't care if some comic pros like me or don't like me. It's not why I'm here. I stand up for good books. I make good books. That is what Comicsgate's supposed to be. What are the three, you might as well say that I wrote the 3 rules of Comicsgate. In a sense, I was the first person to say them. Respect the customer. Story is first, politics are second. Don't listen to Doug TenNapel. So. All right, we're gonna take a few more minutes to do questions because Hatman's been distracting. So let's grab. We're gonna grab 3 more. One thing I'll say, Crystal Hydra, asking us about D&D is a bad question because we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pick another one. Leonardo Juan wants to know, what is an anime you like but everyone else hates? For me, if I had to pick one, it would be Record of Ragnarok. Well, I'm a big Gundam fan, as you guys know, and the one Gundam that, one of my favorite Gundam series ever that is incredibly misunderstood is Double Zeta. I'm actually of the opinion that Double Zeta is one of the best Gundam stories ever told. So I would say that's probably my pick, because it's a very divisive series. People either love it or they hate it. That's probably the one that I would say. Hey man, what about you?
Elfen Lied.
People don't like Elfen Lied?
That's the thing. There used to be a time where that one was really, really well liked. But then as the years went on and people realized that the manga extended the story by quite a lot, where the end of the anime was basically the end of the first arc of the manga, they kind of came to hate the anime. And they said it was too simple. And yes it is. But I love it, and I don't care.
Let's see here. Not seeing any others. Oh, I got Miguel Barreras. Got John Weitzel's. I think I got him. No, Christopher Tybalt wants to know. Is Peregrine in Limbo? Or is it somebody else? So we're not doing Peregrine. I'm writing the crossover of Englewood Peregrine. But that takes place in the Sleeveless universe. So Peregrine's not my character. I don't own any piece of her. She is owned by the guys over at Grade 5. So that's not the character I was referencing. I probably won't end up writing Peregrine, like a Peregrine book, unless Scott McCullough steps away from it, most likely. So But Optimus, is trying to get stuff ready to go. It's just there's been family health issues on top of there's still a bunch of books that they haven't sent him yet. Because over 1,000 copies of Peregrine were ordered. So those orders usually take longer to ship. All right,
especially if it's just one dude.
Yeah.
I can say that from experience.
Mm-hmm. Crystal Hydra says, isn't Twitch more left than YouTube? No. and are you sure about Twitch? Yes. We're absolutely sure. The fact of the matter is that this platform is just not what it used to be. And for streaming, it seems like you can't run a decent stream on it, quality-wise, without either having massive gigabit internet or anything along those lines, or you're using StreamYards. I have no desire to use StreamYards for this. StreamYards is very limited in what it can do. So yeah. All right, that's it for chat questions. So if you got a question in the chat that we did not get to answer, like Tats is right there because he just put it in. Go ahead, mods. Go ahead and pick that up for us. So we owe one cringe clip as of right now.
A single cringe.
Yes, this is the last one on YouTube. Two suggested, but neither one. Oh wait, Zion the Blank got the best clip. Got the most. So he gets the pick. And it is a 32-second clip. Boy, I say boy, this anime stuff is garbage. Okay. Let's have a look.
Tell me when.
Let me just let me test something real quick.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear it. Okay. You got it up?
I got it up.
3, 2, 1, go.
Boy, I say, boy, this anime stuff is garbage. You know what you could be having right now? You could go to college, get a degree in farming, find a beautiful big-breasted blonde woman, and have 3 beautiful blue-eyed Aryan children. But you know what anime is gonna give you? It's either gonna let you die alone, or you're gonna get a girl who's fat, or furry, or worse, I say worse, both.
I don't know, man. Evangelion's kind of a classic. You should give it a shot.
Now, what in tarnation is an Evangelion?
One Evangelion later.
Say fuck.
Okay. That was good. That was good.
Oscar best girl.
I don't know about that. But
well, Misato is technically best girl, but
yeah. Anywho, we do appreciate you guys.
funny.
We want you all to know that. So the Twitch channel is twitch.tv/BigMicahC to catch the show live. Recordings of the shows will be here on YouTube still. We're gonna still upload them. But if you wanna be there for the live show, that is where it's gonna be. And yeah, we are ending the overflow just because we don't have time. So this will be the last one that we record. We'll try to get it done this week. With all that said, though, we need to take off. I'm going to go lay down because I've started sweating like crazy. I don't know what's going on. So until next time, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, staying on YouTube for the last time. Fuck YouTube.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.